Hello everyone, it's David again. We're on Babylon 5, Season 5, Episode 3, The Paragon of Animals. It starts off with a council meeting. The Drazi ambassador says you cannot legislate morality, Delenn. We do not need to sign, and I'm paraphrasing the rest of this, we've never harmed another race. Boy, where have we heard that before? Maybe coming out of somewhere where there's lots of Uyghurs and Tibetans in concentration camps. But they always say, well, look at the way you treated your Native American population. Look at the way you treated your Black American population, both of which were horrible. But you're talking about the United States from the 1850s versus the United States in 2020s. Now, things are not perfect, of course, but they're a hell of a lot better than enslaving an entire race of people and forcing them to work for you. But I digress. Interesting little quote, Whiters, they are a sensitive bunch, by Mr. Garibaldi, talking about Jakar writing his statement of principles, which is another reason I bring that up, is because J. Michael Straczynski, JMS, who invented Babylon 5, created it, has a special writer's level in his Patreon account. So if you're a writer and you want to link up and get ideas from one of the preeminent writers of sci-fi, and not just Babylon 5, there's Sense8, there's Jericho, Spider-Man. JMS has written for tons of different movies and shows and everything. So if you are a writer, please consider going to his Patreon account and signing up for his writer's level courses. At any rate, we see a bombing of a village, and then a ranger comes and finds a family hiding. And this person has great stock that the Rangers will bring the White Stars, and the White Stars will end the raiding problems forever and ever. And we cue the entrance. Michael Garibaldi wants to use telepaths to gather intelligence. If you look at the telepaths greet Michael Garibaldi quite rudely. I wonder if they can tell he's not a big fan of telepaths. And to be honest, if I was Sheridan, I don't think I would have sent Michael Garibaldi, of all people, to extend an olive branch to telepaths. Michael Garibaldi is not the person I would send. I would have first contacted Lita, but maybe Garibaldi was hoping to save her for, until he needed her. At any rate, we see a White Star coming in severe distress. At Babylon 5, a ranger is in deep shock, and Lita scans him. And she finds out, about the Enfili homeworld. And the Enfili are the name of a people at the edge of Drazi space who have been victimized by the raiders. And those are the ones that we saw at the initial beginning, where there's a bombing scene. She said, basically, Sheridan ends up sending the entire White Star fleet to the Enfili homeworld and informs the Drazi ambassador, not realizing, of course, that the Drazi are in cahoots with the raiders. So the ambassador goes off to contact his government to arrange a trap. We go in. However, as the Drazi ambassador was walking out of Sheridan's quarters to go off and tell his government, Byron scans him. Lita ends up talking to Michael Garibaldi about scanning a dying person, and says that when you scan a dying person, kind of like a little piece of your soul goes with them. And she says, the allegation is that Bester was always volunteering for deep scans on dying people, and that's what happened to him, is over time so much of his soul left him that he was left with a cold, heartless lump. So, wonder what you guys think. Put that down below. Do you agree with Lita on that one? That's what one of Bester's problems is? Or do you think he was naturally born a jerk? At any rate, Lita is enlisted to talk to Byron. Sheridan reads a revised edition of Jakar's Statement of Principles, quite moving and a great little bit of writing on the part of JMS as far as Jakar's Statement of Principles is concerned. Byron meets with Lita, and he starts talking to her a little bit rough at first, but then he kind of warms up to Lita, and he makes one poignant observation. You're used to running other people's errands, aren't you? So, Byron agrees to send 2 telepaths to gather intel for Lita, and as a down payment, he tells Lita about the Brazi ambassador's ambush plans. Uh-oh. We zip on in, and the Drazi ambassador comes to a hastily called upon council meeting. And the White Stars had gone ahead, taken out all of the raiders, and now we're setting up defensive positions right at the local jump gate. So as soon as the Drazi fleet comes out, pow, pow, they're going to get hit with everything the White Stars can muster. So the ambassador, looking very squeamish, ends up having to admit that he was involved with the thing from the beginning. That the Drazi were taking about half the raiders' stolen goods. If to hit all of these species along their border space, and then they get half, the raiders get half, and they have plausible deniability, as we like to say. But the Drazi is able to, at the very last second, call his fleet off, and we now have a poignant lesson for all the ambassadors, and they all agree to sign Jakar's Statement of Principles. And it ends with Jakar hastily coming back and saying, we have to redo the whole thing all over again. I rewrote the Statement of Principles, and it's better now. And sure enough, Sheridan reads it, and he says, it is better. And at the very last, poor Lita, she must have been the hair. Do you think Byron has really good hair? That must have been it. That's why she went back to hear more of Byron's ideas. Kind of like, maybe Scientology or something. All those famous people want to hear more of L. Ron Hubbard's ideas, and L. Ron Hubbard with his shocking orange-red hair, maybe that's what did it. But at any rate, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you on the next episode. Hope you have a good rest of your day.